are trespassing.
Yeah.
Please leave the area.
See that?
This area is under video surveillance and you have been recorded.
Yeah. I am actually here at the front gate of the infamous Skinwalker Ranch. Check out Randy's shop and buy something. It's a one-of-a-kind handmade art pieces. You're not going to find it anywhere else. What was inside of this big backpack was this red pouch of pigment. And there's a whole big ball of red ochre sitting in there. We're gonna have to figure out a way to climb up and over this. We're in. Wow, that is so cool.
Definitely a grinding stone.
This is just amazing. Sure enough. Wow, these are so cool. Today I'm actually over here on the edge of Bottle Hollow. This is right on the edge, in line with Bottle Hollow, right in line with Skinwalker Ranch. This is Skinwalker Ranch Ridge. Right in the sky above us, behind me, is where they've been flying the drones, getting all the warping, the anomalies, the gravitational anomalies, very similar to what I've been finding and that our team has been discovering at Mount Wilson Ranch. You ready? There is a connection between the paranormal, UFOs, and the myths of ancient history. The clues are scattered across the landscape from a forbidden past, maybe even in your own backyard. There is a connection between the true nature of our reality, consciousness, and the unexplained. I'm Carl the Crusher. Let's explore the unknown. How fascinating would it be to be able to go up there, explore and hike, look for artifacts, and see what you might be able to discover. There could be even more up there. There could be carvings, caves, all kinds of interesting things. Okay, I'm going to zoom out now, and I'm going to pan across the sky right above Skinwalker Ranch, because if there's any kind of an anomaly, it would be right here. And then you know what I think I'm going to do? I'm going to bust out my thermal imager, and we'll do a little bit of filming with that and see if we can see any kind of warping, lensing, or anomalies or anything strange on the thermal camera. So let's do it. Might as well, right? We're right here at the gates, and honestly, if anybody on security shows up and says, "Hey, you're not allowed to be here, what are you doing?" It's just gonna be somebody that I know who's a friend of mine. So I'm gonna get the thermal imager out and just do some sky watching and panning around. Let's see what we can see. How cool. So I also remembered I've got my dicyanin goggles that have this violet purple hue that supposedly reveals things on the astral plane and anomalies. So I'm gonna actually put this over the lens and see what we can see as well. Okay, here we go.
Right now.
Yeah, if any of the security comes out, I know all those guys, but you're right, we shouldn't trespass. These guys are saying that you guys actually camped at the campground and filmed a UFO flying over, like a light in the sky. I'm filming you on my thermal imager right now.
Oh yeah. The right over Homestead too. If you get a chance to talk to them, tell them to do EVP. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't know if they have. I know that Bigelow did in the 90s.
They definitely did.
Okay. Because it answers, and it's
EVP, like spirit box.
Yeah, just talk to it. Right. And so, because they're shooting rockets at it, you're giving it attention and stuff, and that's fine. But like if you actually talk to it, it is immediately on you.
Right.
And it is not what we saw at Area 51. Let's just say that.
Right. So did you guys go by? Have you guys heard of Mount Wilson Ranch over there near Area 51? That was actually researched by Bigelow's team before they came here?
No.
They were there for 10 years digging for something underground
Well,
with half of the psychic spies from Stanford.
Holy shit.
okay, so
Yeah, I've been researching there for the last year or so, doing documentaries with those guys. Yeah.
what I'll say. Okay, so I do a tech conference in Las Vegas every year, and been doing that for like 10 years. Been out there, get to win a whole bunch. This is his first time. Took him out there. I've seen a couple things. Last Saturday night, it was insane. And the portal tech, they've got it.
Yeah.
We're talking. They're like,
But it wasn't. They didn't test above Area 51. They tested behind
behind
us.
it. So if you're sitting, yeah. So if you take extraterrestrial highway and you sit and you're trying to look at S4 and Papoose,
Yep.
which is what I've been doing for years, right?
Right.
Not nothing, but just okay. So we get green flash happens to the point that it like shadows. We duck because it was like a meteorite or something, and we get up and it was just circling. Like it was three of them.
Just like a light, or 3 lights.
Three lights,
Yeah.
circling, like orbiting, and then disappearing, and then coming back. So they're like testing that, and then they use that circle in elevation, and that's when they just started dogfighting. That's the best way I can explain it.
Wow.
And we're talking like opening a portal, popping in, green light, the same green light that like was right over us, and just an hour,
Disappearing, reappearing, all
Yeah,
that
it
stuff.
was
Yeah, yeah,
an
yeah.
hour and a half like testing. I mean, that's what
Yeah.
it looked like.
So then there's power lines. You follow those power lines up into the Basin Park.
Yeah.
So it's behind. It's like there's another. You got extraterrestrial highway. You got Area 51, all that jazz. All right, and then there's back over here. There's another. There's like 1 or 2 other dry lake beds with no access except the power lines. Right.
Yeah.
Running
Yeah.
that way.
Right.
I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
But it's a public land park, sure. But yeah, I mean it's probably they got a station there. Like I could just tell you I've never seen that before. And whatever we saw, that is.
There's some bizarre anomalies. I've definitely filmed and seen a lot of strange stuff over the sky.
I mean that shit's ours. That's the scary thing. Like this is not ours. I don't think. This is ancient and weird.
Yeah, I think this is more tied into the indigenous artifacts
Yeah.
and some of the ritual things that were going on here, kind of quantum imprinted on the place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's, I don't know how else to describe it.
It's intelligent. That's the freaking scary part. And
Yeah.
what we saw was definitely a test of some tech. And that
Near
tech
Area
is,
51.
Yeah.
But here last night, you guys camped out and saw something over the
Yeah.
ranch here.
Yeah.
And then a couple days over, yeah, like
But it
one
was.
day.
But here
or
it wasn't.
down in Vegas.
What we saw over here wasn't like that though. Like it was like way more like
Personal.
yeah.
Really? So
Yeah.
more like a consciousness experience?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I've experienced every
Yeah,
time.
it's exactly. It's so in Nashville, our place. There's right down the road. There's some Native American Indian mounds, and I did some EVP there and got this thing. Go home, right? Just like get the hell out of here, and you get this feeling. But that was just nothing like what we felt like. But it's similar. This is way more powerful and personal and intelligent. Like it's like, I'm like, it's like
Agreed.
It's like
Agreed.
a Nephilim in there or some shit.
Agreed.
And
Yeah.
it's pissed. How's this? It's not a pleasant. It's not a good white fairy. Okay.
Yeah.
We're not talking about
Territorial.
It's territorial.
Territorial, yeah.
It's
Yeah.
very territorial. There's something in that freaking mesa it does not want you fucking with. And I'm like, okay, is it automated AI from like some freaking ancient shit? I don't.
So did you guys have sort of like weird holographic consciousness, sort of weird things? Like
from last-
dreams and things last night? Or?
No. Well, actually,
That's what I was scared about.
yeah.
Oh,
I
yeah,
don't
yeah,
remember
yeah.
any. I don't remember any. I don't want it. And that's the thing. Is like, well, the problem about EVP is what you're asking a question.
Oh,
you're
yeah, the
fucking
spirit
you're
box.
connecting to it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Right? You're giving it attention. It loves eating attention. You get this distinct feeling. It's like, ooh, I want attention. And that's what, effectively, you shoot a rocket at it, you're giving it attention.
Yep.
How it manifests is, I think, what it wants, like what you want to see to get more attention.
Like it interfaces
Yeah,
with
yeah,
your
yeah.
expectations, almost turns into
Exactly.
a dreamland.
That's
Like,
exactly what it is.
Yeah.
like when you're thinking about something in a dream, you're like, oh, I hope the monster doesn't come up the stairs and
It's-
scare me. It almost instantly happens in a weird way.
Yeah.
If you've seen Forbidden Planet, the 1950s sci-fi,
Yeah, yeah.
with the Krell, and they built that device that actually manifests, like, thought,
Yeah.
right, physically,
Uh-huh.
like that.
Right on.
Right? And I'm like, okay, so that's, and again, I could go with thirst, or like old ancient spirit or Nephilim or something like that, but then you hit freaking metal.
Yeah.
And now it's like, okay, now we're talking some 2001. We're talking some
Yeah.
deep sci-fi. Dude.
Definitely, man. Well, hey, thanks for sharing those stories,
Yeah, of
guys.
course.
Oh yeah, man.
That was awesome for filming my thermal imaging over the ranch right there. That was really cool.
You should
Thank
have
you.
done thermal, man.
those guys were pretty cool. They said they actually camped out at the campground here, and they actually had experiences that were more consciousness, psychic experiences while they were camping out here last night in and around Skinwalker Ranch. And then they talked about all those encounters that they had over Area 51. I was able to tell them about Mount Wilson Ranch and some of that cool stuff, and now they're part of my video on the adventure. But now that they've taken off, I got a little bit more time. Let's check this out with the dicyanin goggles one more time. We'll put a link down in the description box where you can get these as well. They look like welding goggles, but these are custom handmade lenses that allow you to see into spectrums of reality that your eyes normally cannot see. This is the part of the valley over here, the East Valley, where the Navajo Stonehenge or medicine wheel is. And this is where all the drone activity is happening, and when the helicopter gets the weird effects up in the sky is really right above where I'm filming. We're pointed right at it, so if we were going to see anything, it would be here. Let me know if you guys spot anything. It's kind of hard with the glare on my phone. So I'm just slowly panning around with these goggles on. See, this is what it looks like without. Then we're gonna come back at night with the night vision. I'm telling you, the trickster entity of Skinwalker Ranch just got me. As soon as I hopped back in the truck to leave, the whole back of my shorts just ripped open. So now I have a huge hole in the butt of my shorts now, all the way up the back. I just went to hop in after sitting there filming all that with the dicyanin goggles and the thermal imager, talking to those guys, just taking it lighthearted. Go to hop in my truck to leave. Rip, the whole back of my shorts rips open. Like, what kind of a prankster? I don't know. I'm not saying that a Skinwalker ripped the back of my shorts, gave me like a wedgie, but I'm telling you, there is a funny relationship with this place where dumb stuff like that seems to happen all the time. So I'm actually just gonna drive around the south edge of the ranch and show you guys that, and then I gotta go back and change my shorts because it got me. But this has been an epic day so far. We're gonna come back to that monument and definitely do some night vision filming tonight. What a fascinating place. Skinwalker Ranch, Skinwalker Ridge. The amount of stories and intrigue, fascinating, interesting people that have been here and experienced stuff. The more you dig into it, the more mysterious it gets. But I think that what Brandon Fugel is doing with his current research team now is a totally different scientific approach and angle than what Bigelow was doing. Bigelow and all of his guys with Eric Davis and Hal Puthoff, Colm Kelleher and them, they were so involved with using experimental technology, psychic spy stuff out of the Stanford Research Institute and all of that, that I find it really fascinating that Brandon Fugel is bringing the drones, the scientific equipment, and then trying to also take a look at the Native American indigenous impression upon the land and what those artifacts and that history and how it plays a part and a role is. And I'm excited to really be a part of it in my small way, and to bring you guys along behind the scenes and what that's all like. I get to come right up here and drive right close next to the ranch and explore everything with you guys and do it the right way and help inform you guys as well as how to do it the right way. So let's drive around here. You guys, this has all been Skinwalker Ridge. It's really cool to bring you right to the heart of the mystery, up close and personal with me, and I appreciate all of your support as I do this. And we're just getting started, right in the middle of my trip. Still have a lot to do. This is just to the southeast of Skinwalker Ranch and the whole area. what it looks like down in the valley where there is cattle roaming around, and sort of how the locals live here in the ranch land. And so you'll see that it opens up, but you've got where the water flows through the valleys down at the bottom here of the Uinta Basin. You've got all these scrub trees and junipers and sage that grows down in here. It gives it totally this very haunting feeling based on all the stories. And there's actually been a lot of sightings. The Utah UFO Display book, they talk about, like over 600 to 800 UFO sightings in the sky. And that was before there was even any mention of shapeshifters or skinwalkers, any of that sightings of like the dogmen or any interdimensional portal stuff going on in this area. But all of that during the Bigelow era sort of kicked off, and it's hard to know how much of it's real or not that came out of the Sherman family. There is talks that there was technology used to scare the Shermans off the ranch, and I know that some of that experimental stuff was going on during the Bigelow era. I don't know to what extent, but it is intriguing. But as we're driving around the south end of the property, I'll show you what it looks like to look up to the north and see the sky over Skinwalker Ranch and what that looks like right now. There's not much that you can do. You can't really get out and do a lot to film or explore, hike around, but that is Skinwalker Ridge and the ranch off there in the distance. If you can kind of see out through the window, that whole ridge is just basically right where we were. So other than driving around the circumference here through the reservation land on the main road, you can't really get out and film or do a whole lot other than get a sense of it, unless you go to those campgrounds or other locations that we've been talking about. Across the road to the south, there's all these oil drills and different stuff at night. You can hear them. They just sit there and go clunk, clunk, and make noise like that. But we're just driving down the road on the south side of the property, and across all these fields, that is all Skinwalker Ranch. Everything in the sky is part of that equation and part of the mystery. So I just rolled my window down. It's really hard to get a view, really hard to get a sense of it. So it's a pretty big property and covers a lot of area there, so it's interesting. This right here is basically the closest view that you're going to get of Skinwalker Ranch, of the headquarters. I'm gonna kind of just pull off right here on the corner and film out the window. But if you look out here, this is where you get a sense, if I roll the window down, of where some of the ridge is, where some of the homesteads are. This is all kind of the western edge of the property in the area. But right over there, this is all Skinwalker Ranch and that whole area. And right along this fence line right here is where I've seen a strange shadow figure walk up along the fence line and crouch down and then basically disappear out here the first time that I came up here. So it's kind of an interesting spot to pull up right here and look across the ridge. This is where you can see there's like this little blue light that will flash at night on the side of the mesa where they have one of those other security booths on the west end of the property. But that is the ridge, and that is the mesa right there. You get a sense of how big it actually is over there. It's tall. Those artifacts up there, there's a lot of them that still need to be explored. So technically and legally, that's about all you can do and as close as you can get to Skinwalker Ranch, unless you are personally invited there by a member of the team, Brandon Fugel himself, or a part of the show. And definitely don't trespass onto the reservation land. Make sure and obey the law, and just don't get out of your vehicle and mess around and disturb people, because people actually live here and it is an active research site. So just wanted to show you guys kind of the proper way, if you come through the area, to not get a ticket, to not go to jail, to not get in trouble with anybody, but still get to experience as much as you can here. There's a lot of cool stuff around, and I think it's a beautiful area just to come and see, but make sure and do it right. Notice out there towards Skinwalker Ranch, you've got another oil drill. that is the whole mesa right there. And then look at this, no stopping at any time. I'm not stopping, I'm slow rolling. This is Space Wolf Research site right there. And oh my gosh, I'm on security camera. Hi guys, what's up? So they actually have a whole research site going on right there. It is not affiliated with Skinwalker Ranch. But they have some of the property that borders along the west side. And then there's a lot of interesting property and different stuff like that that goes off the west end of the ranch into the north as well. We are now basically on the west end of Skinwalker Ranch. This is all part of the mesa and the ridge out the window right here. And we're actually coming up on these power lines. Check this out. Here you have, we're driving right over the top of Skinwalker Ridge right now, the mesa itself. And underneath these high tension power lines. So this is actually the top of Skinwalker Ranch. Everything out the window here, if you hiked out there across the fence line here, is Skinwalker Ranch. And these power lines run all the way across the top of the mesa. And there's actually, you know, beautiful farmland and ranch houses, and people live up here and around right in this area. And all of the strange phenomena that they're experiencing happens in the sky right up there. It's kind of amazing to think about how much has happened. Now, if I'm not mistaken, I think we just did a full loop all the way around Skinwalker Ranch, and we should be right back up on Bottle Hollow Reservoir again. Yes, there it is, Bottle Hollow. We did a full loop. And get a load of this mural. This one is so cool that I was willing to pull off the side of the road with a big split in the back of my shorts and risk it to get out and film this one. I just feel like it should be some kind of an amazing pilgrimage and something that you do to where if you're gonna come up here and try to experience Skinwalker Ranch, you gotta get a taste of the entire community, what it's like to be here, and actually support it and appreciate it for what it is. It has its own flavor and its own culture that I just think is just so amazing and so cool. They didn't have to do this, but the entire community, the entire county, and everybody around here is just really cool like this. And so I like to stop and appreciate it. Guys, I'm just driving along trying to go back to change my shorts that tore, and there's petroglyphs right there. So I've got to try to find a spot that I can maybe pull off the side of the road, maybe right here. Hopefully this is okay. Let's go take a look. This is so crazy if these are actually petroglyphs. It's just like right off the side of the main road right here. This huge rock formation. I was like, this is pretty fascinating, and I could see graffiti all over it. Sure enough, look at that. Let's see if I can even get up here. Oh, it's kind of steep. It is a little bit tricky crawling up here. There is petroglyphs here. Oh my gosh. What a tricky little crawl up here. Look at that, it's steep. It'll be fun trying to get back down. Look at this. Wow. So cool. These are authentic, actually carved into the rock. Look at these figures. You got eyes, nose, a body, some kind of a figure here. This one here as well. And look, have you seen these? All the way in Nevada. Figures like this. And look at this one. Can't believe we found these just right off the side of the road. Wow. I'm like so surprised by it. I'm not even sure what to make of them. They just all go off the bottom. And they go all the way up this whole panel. Look, they're like little pill-shaped people with tiny little arms and legs, faces, and then look at the dot, dot, dot coming off the top of the head. Look how cute that is. Look at the little faces. And the big arch right here. Oh, there's more. Whoa, there's more up there. Look at that. Look, same kind of figure. I can't believe we've just been finding these, you guys. I had no idea that these were here. More of these little, like, bean-shaped or pill-shaped guys. So cool. And look, they have the horns on the top of the big arch. Or are these like moccasins? Are they supposed to be footprints with toes? Is that what that is? Is it supposed to be a footprint with toes? It's hard to tell. I don't want to jump to conclusions. It's almost like an H symbol here. Look at all this, guys. So cool. All of this just right back up near Invernal, right by the other petroglyphs and pictographs. I mean, there's probably more. All the way up there, there's graffiti all over. Looks like people come up here around and go rock climbing as well. I've got to be really careful trying to get up and down here. It's actually very steep and sandy, but look, oh wow, this is almost like a whole long arch, which I've seen in another canyon before, almost like a boat. It has like symbols up above it here. What an incredible day. We haven't even hooked up with Caleb, haven't even actually gone in Skinwalker Ranch. All you got to do is get out, keep your eyes open, follow your intuition, and here you go. Can't believe we're finding all this stuff. We just came from Skinwalker Ranch, Bottle Hollow and everything right over there. Just driving around the corner and boom. Ancient indigenous rock art. A strange, cute little bean-shaped people. How cool. With these little arched horn things on top. Oh, there's one going this way with dots. Oh, look at the cool dots. What a cool find, guys. Amazing. This is what it's all about. I've never seen these before. I just noticed the formation. I've got a sense of it. I've got a nose for this thing, and I just looked up here. Boom, sure enough. Cool little bean-shaped alien dudes drawn by, I don't know, probably desert archaic people. Maybe early Pueblo. That's hard to tell. Maybe Fremont people, but these are interesting petroglyphs. I don't see any pictographs with the pigment, but so cool. What a cool find. And we're just getting started. I can't believe this is so cool. I just want to pan down one more time, try and take it all in, because I don't honestly know how many people even know all of this is right here on the side of the road. But these are so cool. I have definitely seen these figures and shapes down in southern Utah and all over in Nevada, right near Mount Wilson Ranch. I did a whole set of videos, and there are petroglyphs that look just like these little guys with the pill-shaped bodies almost, and the dots above the head, these arms. I've seen this hundreds of miles away on rock art, clear in Nevada. And so this is fascinating that this is all going on right here near Skinwalker Ranch. And look, right up here, way up high, you've got some graffiti and grease art and stuff up there. But then look, way up high there. There could be anything around here. It's almost like a little smiley face there. Very cool. Unexpected, awesome find. Nice to meet y'all. Thanks for saying hi, everybody. No way. I just come around the side here, and there's even more right up here. Look at this. I'm just crawling back down here, trying to figure out an easier way to get back down. Boom. Look at this. I've seen this guy all over the place too. Isn't that such a familiar shape? And then look right above him, you've got this little figure and the 3 dots. What? What in the world? Is there more up here? It looks like there's figures there. It looks like some of that might be red ochre. There could be lots of faded stuff on here. Look at that, guys. A whole figure with the headdress. Another little figure up and to the side. I've seen this clear down in southern Utah. Little figure up on the shoulder of the big figure that looks like this. It's a little bit creepy. Oh, damn. Oh, shit. Look at that. Ooh, that's gross. Is there anything up here? Oh, yes, look at that. Look at the red ochre pigment. Whoa. They crawled all the way up in here and did markings. All the way up in there. That's not graffiti, guys. The red stuff there, those are indigenous. Look at these lines. 1, 2, 3. And then a big one going up the middle. See that? 1, 2, 3. Big, almost like a funnel vortex looking thing. 4, 5. And then dots up in the sky. And then look at the black circles. 1, 2, 3, 4. Right there. But this is almost like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then it's almost like a big cone shaped or funnel shaped thing going up with these red pigmented dots. And then look, there's this whole darkened pocket thing where there could be stuff stuffed up in there. I can't climb up in there. That is treacherous. That is so crazy that they did that. But what an amazing find. Painted red ochre rock art on the walls up in there. This looks so old. It's so cool. And I mean, always there's like graffiti and weird stuff around, and then oh my gosh, right by my feet here, dead animal. Creepy cave. Okay. All right. You guys, this is why it's so awesome. Look, there's even more animal bones and weird stuff. These figures right up here on the wall behind me. That's why it's so amazing to get out and see for yourself. Like, how many people do you think in the last like 2 decades working on the Skinwalker Ranch crew or up and around here, or even the locals that live in the area, even know that all of these petroglyphs are right here on the wall, just on the side of the road? And right down here, when I keep going, that's where we saw the pictograph that we hiked up and found the other day. But all of these indigenous sites are right here in the Uinta Basin and all over the place and connected, and they're in the same artistic style as the ones that Brandon Fugel just recently found at Skinwalker Ranch. It's so awesome just to get out, boots on the ground, look for yourself with the right intentions and integrity. I wasn't expecting this, and just stumble across it, and you guys get to experience it all with me. Very cool. What a really cool, unexpected thing. I mean, this thing sticks out. You figure there's people living here for thousands and thousands of years, all the way that goes back to prehistory. There's probably loads of stuff all the way down this entire road, all the way up to Steinecker Lake, all the way up McConkey Ranch, all these canyons totally inhabited by indigenous people that were doing mysterious, interesting stuff, all the way down to Skinwalker Ranch. So what I was thinking was like a dinosaur wearing a saddle could be actually a petroglyph of a skinwalker. Right here next to this big medicine wheel, the UFOs, UAPs, if there's anything flying around over Skinwalker Ranch, we're gonna see it.
Why is that such a hotbed? Because obviously there's other stuff going on.
A type of psychic or telepathic communication by using these glyphs and the cosmos, some kind of quantum entanglement thing. But I'm actually here. This is the helipad where Brandon Fugel lands, the main gate right over there. This is Homestead 1.